Greetings to you all. It's your brother Nyhiem, BKA Lord Abba, aka Mr. Just the Facts. We are back, family. We wanted to take a little break from off the airwaves. We've been making other noise out in the Twitterverse, on the Twitter Spaces. So we didn't stop teaching. I see you, BTP Riri, in the building. I see you, Sister Kelly Pryor. Tonight we're going to talk with the OG Arthur Ward about NAARC NCOBRA, man, and what he calls, and what I now call the NAARC NCOBRA axis, right? These two bookends of relics that should have been buried a long, long time ago, still trying to maintain some sort of relevance. Peace, Sister Shanna. I see you. And in that, they are muddying and muddling things when it comes to reparations. Make sure y'all share the video out, family. We will be live streaming back on the other channels as soon as I figure out what's going on. You already know we got a book coming up. We was going to do the John Brown book, but we might have to do that back of the higher in line book first, family. We might have to do that first because that book is of importance. And if you read that book, then you know that, and that's Roy Beck's book, The Back of the Higher in Line, where I should have had my physical copy with me. It's over there on my couch. But he's breaking down how immigration, not just more recently, but since the times of Reconstruction and shortly thereafter on up until today, is completely ruining our push for upward mobility in this country. So make sure y'all get that book, fam. The Back of the Higher in Line. I don't even remember who I have as mods on this channel. I know Riri is a mod. I'm going to make Sister Kelly a mod on the channel real quick. So Kelly is a mod. So if anybody could post the link to that Back of the Higher in Line in the chat. And Sister Shanna, matter of fact, let me make Sister Shanna a moderator as well on this channel. So look, let's get it in without further ado. We're going to bring on Brother Arthur Ward. And
for those of you that have been in this reparationist space for any amount of time, you already know the OG, but we're going to let him introduce himself. And, let me say he spoke at the rally, the Juneteenth rally. I mean, he really had me on fire. I was like, you got to email me your speech, man. He emailed me that joint. I read that joint. I was like, man, that joint was fire. So, introduce yourself, brother. And, you can, from the introduction, you can just start going in.
Okay. Well, you know what? First of all, I'm looking at myself. I look terrible, but that's okay. That's not what we're here for.
We
But
good.
anyway,
I'm looking rough and scruffy. I'm good. We good. We men at the end of the day.
okay.
Straight up. We ain't got to get all cute and put eyeliner and makeup and
Oh
all that.
no.
We gonna rough it out like men do. Like, what's up?
Okay. All right. But look, I've been following NAARC and NCOBRA since before ADOS. Okay. I mean, I've had knowledge on them, but I didn't realize the insidiousness of what their real mission was until I started looking at them critically in relation to what we are trying to do as freedmen. Now, I keep up with ADOS, with NAARC and NCOBRA, but at the same time, I'm not going to give you any details on that. I'm going to ask all of the family that this is part of our mission as reparationists. We not only need to keep up with the positives and people that are actually pushing this thing forward, but we also need to look at the anchors and the brakes as well, so that we can truly see where we need to do and where we need to go. And the reason why it is so important for all of us to keep an eye on all elements of the NAARC and NCOBRA axis is because at this time, they have the most influence with the levers of power. Okay? Also, there's a sinister element to this. HR 40 has at this time more than 100 sponsors. Do you know why they have more than 100 sponsors? Because every one of those legislators in the House know that HR 40 is a bad bill, and it will not do anything to move Black people, or rather I should say American freedmen, forward. Okay? Now, at this point, I'm going to give you, Brother Nyhiem mentioned the NAARC and NCOBRA axis. Well, actually, there are 9 elements to the NAARC and NCOBRA axis, and they are these. The first one is NAARC itself, which is run by Dr. Ron Daniels. And the website is reparations, COMM.org. He is actually the brains of the whole axis ever since Conrad Warwill, the founder of NCOBRA, died in 2020. Then we have the guy that executes things, Cam Howard. He's the head of NCOBRA. His website is NCOBRAonline.org. He's not only the head of NCOBRA, the co-chair of NCOBRA, but he's also a NAARC commissioner. Okay, listen. All of these organizations are how should I say, networked with each other. He's a NAARC commissioner. Third, First Repair, Robin Rue Simmons, who used to be the Fifth Ward alderman in Evanston. She is the one, along with NCOBRA, to engineer that failed local reparations program. Also, she declined to run again as Fifth Ward alderman. Right now, she is the head of this First Repair. First Repair is a nonprofit that runs around the country infecting cities and states to adopt these local reparations nonsenses. But these nonsenses in the long run, will be very injurious to our reparations program. Also, check this out. Cam Howard, who is simultaneously a NAARC commissioner, who is simultaneously the mayor co-chair of NCOBRA, is the treasurer of First Repair. And then Robin Rue Simmons herself is also the legislative commissioner for NCOBRA. Okay. Then the fourth, the Taifa Group, TAIFA.
My bad. It sounds like a bunch of conflict of interest to me going on here.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But go ahead. I'm good. Go ahead and cook.
Oh, it gets even worse the further down I go on the list. Then we have Nkechi Taifa. First name is spelled Nkechi, Taifa, Taifa. She's the head of the TaifaGroup.com. She's also a NAARC commissioner. She is kind of like, she serves as kind of like the strategy and communications. She's also the outside attack dog for NAARC in terms of written media. Okay, she's the one that wrote that article debunking Dr. Darity's edits towards HR 40.
I think I've had some interactions with her on Clubhouse. I had to go in there and cook all of them people at one point in time. But go ahead, man.
Then we have number 5, the NBCI Trust, which is the acronym is National Black Cultural Information Trust. That is run by Jessica Ann Mitchell Iwior. Okay, and you know her.
Jam. I had to cook her a couple times as well.
Right. She actually works for the Axis as a propaganda minister. Even though she doesn't belong to any, let's say, quote unquote, organization.
Wait. Let me just say, if you was to ask me, what do you think her position is within those groups? I would have said a propaganda minister.
Right, exactly. That's what she serves as. And then check this out. On her board, Ari Maradazan, who is the Northeast region representative of NCOBRA, is one of her board members. Okay. Then we get to the big fish. Now, Caracal, the Caribbean Reparations Commission, that is run by Sir Hilary Beckles. That is caracalreparations.org. Understand that CARICOM is an integral part of the Axis. What they are planning on doing is establishing a pipeline of Caribbeans traveling to the U.S. to receive reparations, because this is the setup that NAARC wants to do. And I'm reading, and I'm going to read literally quoting from their website. We strongly affirm the right of all people of African descent in the United States to receive reparations irrespective of when they arrived here or their country of origin.
Yeah.
So meaning you can just get off the plane.
That's right.
Go to a NAARC kiosk, set up in the international section of an airport, and get your check cut right there. Leave a plantain as a tip, and get back on the plane.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. So, but now, so Hilary Beckles, he doesn't come to the U.S. that much. The main guy to watch is Eric Phillips, who is the vice chairman of CARICOM. Okay, he's actually the head of the CARICOM Commission in Guyana, and he has the most physical face-to-face contact with Ron Daniels whenever he comes to the United States. And most of the major events and meetings that NAARC and NCOBRA throw, he's there. He has a lot of miles on his card, okay, coming to the United States from Guyana. The next person to keep your eye on, and he's interesting, Lionel Jean-Baptiste, who is a NAARC commissioner. He was actually born in Haiti, and he is the political bridge to CARICOM. He's also an Illinois Circuit Court judge. I mean, here in the Chicago area. He also lives in Evanston. Okay, he's a guy to watch. Now, the interesting thing that just happened with Lionel Jean-Baptiste, I've been kind of focusing on him for the past 3 months. And when you go on NAARC's website, he wouldn't usually be there as a commissioner. Yesterday, they took him off the website. Yesterday, they took him off the website.
Why do you think that is?
Because I've been putting attention on him. This is not to say that he's not still working as a commissioner. Okay, but they took him off the website. The next one is Sheila Jackson Lee. She is their main in when it comes to Congress and all other agencies within the United States government. She is their in. She's also first generation Jamaican immigrant. Okay.
That's right.
And then the last one that you need to watch is Don Rojas. He is the administrator and director of communications for NAARC. And he's not even black. He's some kind of Hispanic. He was born in St. Vincent in the Caribbean, but he's no longer, he's still connected to Caracal, but at this time officially, he serves as an administrator for NAARC. Okay, so that's what's going on with these people. And what I'm saying is, like, you know, I'm asking all of the freedmen, you should be paying attention to these people. You should be watching them. You should also be emailing them, and letting them know your disapproval. You should also be following them on Facebook and Twitter. You know, everybody should be watching these organizations that comprise the NAARC and NCOBRA axis, because they are the ones that are trying to derail reparations for American freedmen. Now, I'm going to close out with a statement, and this is something that I've been wanting to say to everybody. Now, I came to the conclusion that the Pan-Africans themselves don't believe that reparations can happen. They may have lost hope over time about the possibility of reparations. I don't think that they're quite agents, NAARC and NCOBRA, but they do not have to be agents to do the destructive work of agents, like coming up with and putting into actions all kind of counterproductive ideas, such as local reparations and reparations triage. They are doing the work, but where that work will take us, I don't know. Unbelievable stuff coming from supposedly intelligent people. Their hopelessness has partly manifested in grant grabs, as in we might as well get something. That's right. Just a speculation, but the stuff don't look right. Now, could this be intentional hustling? I don't know if it's intentional, but it looks like hustling though.
It looks like it to me. Let me
too.
Let me say real quick, y'all, okay. You and Sister Roz, who's in the chat right now, shout out to Sister Roz. Yes. Y'all did an excellent job. What was that, a week ago or 2 weeks ago on Twitter Spaces? Yes. Really fleshing out this organization and the HR 40 bill. We did a breakdown on the main Be the Power channel as well. Hopefully we can get, I think y'all's room was recorded. We may need to pull that link and upload that here as well, because people need to because we went in, but it was like y'all went in. Y'all really, y'all had broke down some things that I wasn't previously aware of, and we may have overlooked in our initial videos. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to let the family know that you know, that may be new and just listening in. Maybe you've seen this link on Twitter and it was shared by someone. This is the BTP Media Group channel. Our main channel is the Be the Power channel. We were having some issues with it tonight, and we came over here. Either way, this is our other channel. Make sure, if you are not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. If you want to support, super chat, Be the Power, $ Be the, but you can use the super chat. You can cash app $ Be the Power. You can visit our website, usadof.org. Make a donation to the cause. You can also visit our website, bethepower.org. Read our 12-point political program that we will be pushing to implement as our numbers grow and grow and grow. So I just wanted to do that plug for the channels, the past content, plus the breakdown that, Ross said they have the MP3s. Perfect. So we can upload those here as well. So yeah, all right, go ahead, brother. And we got Brother Josh on. I just want to introduce the BTP Josh.
Peace. Hey, Brother Arthur Ward.
How you doing, Mr. Josh?
Hey, always a good day when you breaking some stuff down. You always got the knowledge to kick.
Oh, no, I'm learning from you guys.
Honest.
But anyway, let me finish this statement. Now, as far as the hustling, I don't know if it's intentional. It looks like hustling, though. I can never understand how, with so much well-educated brain power in the Pan-African community, that in their well-educated minds, American reparations is or can be an international issue, that an international demand can be taken seriously in the white supremacist and unashamedly nativist United States. They can't see that? I wonder. A United States that turns up its behind to international bodies, courts, resolutions, and agreements, both Democrats and Republicans all the time, they don't know what they're doing as far as I'm concerned. Or they may know exactly what they're doing. And this is some kind of long game hustle on us. The Pan-Africans do have a lot of PhDs. They are not dummies. And who knows what kind of slick stuff they are up to. They do have connections to the power structure and prominent people that us freedmen do not enjoy at this time. We have to change that. We also have to make all political associations with Pan-African organizations a contagion. They are actually Afro-international grift enablers, thieves.
Bars.
As long as a justice demand in this country is presented to legislators as based on international law or as an international demand, our legislators will continue to look at freedmen reparations as a joke. The Pan-Africans need to pick up a copy of the U.S. Constitution. And never forget, reparations accomplishability is United States Congress-centric, not executive branch-centric. White legislators will never assent to Caribbean and African immigrants receiving American reparations.
That's right.
Or the stupid-ass Pan-African internationalizing of this very domestic, in-house issue of American reparations in any way. Those people ain't going for that. I do not get why all the PhDs that are so common in the Pan-African community cannot collectively process and or accept effective legal and legislative strategy. There is some kind of impenetrable blockage, and maybe that's intentional. A lot of ignorant and retrograde scholarship, maybe that's intentional too. Confused, no understanding, they don't care to look up from their books and listen to good sense that is actually good sense. No American reparations for Caribbeans. Let Britain, France, Spain, Portugal, and the Netherlands pay their own reparations bills. That is not for America to pay. United States Pan-Africans have grossly distracted us with and misdirected our cultural mental energy towards Africa with a kind of delusional, aspirational Black ethnocentrism. Where are you, African? Take a good look, Miss Redbone. Where? There's nothing for us. There's nothing there for us. Zero. We have never given the full attention to African American history that it deserves because we've given too much adulation to Mansa Musa, to Egypt, as if we have not done greatness here. Greatness up against the unrelenting viciousness of American racism, white supremacy.
That's right.
Please. American freedmen have done the greatest of greatness here. Pan-Africanism has us pedestalizing and romanticizing the very African kingdoms that sold us to the Europeans. This done via carefully curated histories told through a distorted Pan-African marketing perspective. And our history as Africans was permanently switched to a new American beginning, a new identity starting in 1619, after Africans sold us, not kidnapped.
That's right.
Get that straight. They let us sail away, disappearing beyond the horizon to eventually land at the shores of a 400-year-long history of pain, of dispossession, of shit. And American freedmen have a singular and non-shareable heritage. This is not a diasporan heritage. It is unique and ours alone. It is not just the fault of Europeans for purchasing us. I will actually place more culpability on the Africans for putting us up for sale in the first damn place. The Europeans just queued up for the for sale sign.
That's right.
A particular and unique separation occurred after that first sale, a perdurable break. Gone. Every African should recognize that. And as far as I'm concerned, that ineradicable division in history, lineage, culture, reset, vision, and thousands of nautical miles remain and persist and again remain. 1619 permanently defines that continental break. Our legal standing on the American continent began in 1776.
That's right.
All men are created equal. Remember that Declaration of Independence shit? That's where the white folks messed up. That statement inadvertently included us, the blacks, the American freedmen. Shouldn't have put that equal stuff in there. Should have focused that equal by writing down clearly all white men are created equal. At the time, that's what people meant. At the time, slaves were not regarded as men, because the wrong people might eventually understand that line literally, and the wrong people might do something about it rightfully and constitutionally upon that written and ratified basis. The American descendants of chattel slavery, also known as the freedmen, are the great but isolated exceptionalism within the African diaspora, the ones within this America. We are the foundational first among equals in these United States. Our blood, bones, pain, heritage, and uniquely extracted investment lie here in this bad boy here. Now get it straight, Pan-Africans, this bad boy right here. And we have nowhere else to go without a need to think on anywhere else. And that's the end of my statement.
Fire. I mean,
we need a bomb to drop.
We need some, but we gotta update the equipment, man. We gonna do an update. The sister when Natalie and Roz and Logic was on, they put some gifts in the background. So the only thing that I got right now to pop up is this one.
Okay.
Clack clack. Clack clack. Straight up. We gunning for him. We are gunning for him. So, y'all heard the breakdown by Arthur Ward. Like I said earlier, he's been following these two groups for a while. I've been aware of these organizations for years now. I never knew the extent. I remember one time we had a private conversation with Dr. Darity, and he said, don't underestimate NAARC and NCOBRA,
Yes.
because of their proximity to the levers of power. So they're few, but they're powerful. And from the time he said that, I looked at them that way. And I have been able to see how they've maneuvered. And, we kind of moved on from the HR 40 fight. We had took the position that there's nothing we was going to be able to do about it. So we just put our focus on other things. But then I talked to Arthur Ward a couple of weeks ago, and I seen Dr. Darity on this one person's YouTube stream going in on it. And the alarm went off in my head that we need to really go in, man. We need to keep our focus on this bill to some degree, because these people are also tied into the Democratic Party. Yes. And during my battles with them on Clubhouse, I was able to expose this, because we had people that was coming on Clubhouse, Rabon, trying to be Pan-Africanist superheroes. And they didn't understand the political dynamics that were at play. So I was in rooms with Jam and Shireen Mitchell, a.k.a. Digital Sister, I believe the Nkiche, if I'm saying that correct, this other sister that calls herself Dr. Goddess, shutting them all down. Oh, no, Miss Battle, we ain't take your wrench, sis. This is the other Be the Power page. I got you. This the other page. we ain't take the wrench. But yeah, Josh, you wanted to add anything?
Nah, man. Y'all really covered it. It's just when I look at the reparations fight, these people have have put in the time, they put in the relationship building to really position themselves to get to this point. And whether it's going to be for our best interests, we've pretty much presented it that it's looking like that it is not. You know, all
Mm,
the evidence is showing that it is not. And if you just want to look at what you think somebody's going to do in the present and the future, you can just kind of look at to see what they've declared in the past. So when
mhm.
we go and look on these websites, we go and see what their program, what they like this the HR 40 and S40, these bills are to study reparations proposals, right? But if you already got proposals on your website and then you got all your people running the bill, what are we really thinking that the proposal is going to look like? It's probably going to look like stuff you didn't put on your website.
Out,
So
and it's
when I
not
s-
good information.
no, a lot of it's useless. It's ahistorical. It's like irrelevant. Like for example, the right to repatriation. That's one. That's the
Right.
one that always get me.
Mhm.
You
I'll be
want
stuck on that one right there. Like, I
yo
can't get past that.
the right to repatriation. You telling me you want the United States government to give you the right to be able to relocate in other countries as if United
You
States
know,
is an empire and
Right.
these other countries are colonies or satellites or
but
whatever.
Josh, the crazy thing about that is you can repatriate on your own. You
Yeah.
can
Exactly.
you can expatriate right now. You can go to your country of choice. Like, so to have that as one of the legs of your reparations program is just it's idiocy. It
Right.
doesn't make any sense. And they
Hmm.
won't change it. They won't update it because they feel that if they update it, then this generation of us who are thinker, and when I say this generation of, I don't mean age. I'm talking about this generation of reparationists, these new reparationists that have eyes wide open, seeing and knowing. We know this stuff is bogus. I'm looking at it right now. This
Right.
stuff is just bogus, man.
Well, see,
Yeah.
my thing is like, and this goes back to my view of the freedmen thing overall. I feel, I feel that the freedmen uh, era is comprised of three sub eras. The first sub era was the Reconstruction era. The second sub era is the Civil Rights era. And I do believe that we are at the beginning of the reparations era.
Mm.
So, because of the fact that this is so important that it will make the other two eras complete, we cannot afford to have any loose ends in terms of our knowledge and where we place our attention.
That's
These
right.
people are moving, man. I'm telling you.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when I think also to the quote unquote repatriation part, it's particularly what we discussed a lot and extensively, and you can go on this BTP Media channel and see the interview with Charles Blow we did about his book, The Devil You Know, and that repatriation part, we should be repatriation to from these other states where we're leaving anyway, where we're losing power locally and statewide, repatriation to the southern states for the strategy of us getting state power. But no, you want us to take the little bit of resources we got, use them up to go and leave all your political, your family, leave your political power behind, your family power. Like when you go, if you were able to decide to go to another country, everything that you have, you say, oh, well, we're owed a debt. You ain't owed nothing over there. Now you a group that you got. If you at the bottom of America and you think you're struggling for political power because you've been marginalized, your group been spread out. What kind of power you think you're gonna have in over somewhere else? where, you know, you got no, of course, you think you ain't got no protections over here. You ain't got no protections or a lot of these other countries. So what we need to be talking about is, if you're going to talk about repatriation, they need to be talking about, you know, the freedmen repatriating to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Virginia, Maryland,
That's right.
Delaware, what is it, Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi. That's
That's
those,
right.
and we got like 5 that's preferred in particular out
That's
of
right.
those.
That's
So
right.
that's what the repatriation focus need to be on, because you talk about having us to leave out the country, we are destroying our the power for us here. Why in the world will you try to send a reparations on us leaving America? Like, that's the, like, we want to be made American in America. And then, you know, look at the total numbers of all these other groups that are looking to come to America, but you want us to be fired up about running away from America. How does that even make any kind of
That's right.
sense?
Right. Exactly. And the other thing too, man, that we need to make light of, even at the risk of being called xenophobic, we need to focus on how many Black immigrants and even green carders that they have in their organizations shaping our reparations.
They could call me a xenophobe. I don't care.
Okay, okay. Uh, the main ones that we need to, but the main ones that we need to focus on right now, that I know are not from here, is NAARC Commissioner Adjo Amazo. She's born in Togo. That's in West Africa. NAARC Commissioner I still think is a commissioner, even though they took him off the website, Lionel Jean Baptiste. He was born in Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
NAARC Commissioner Yvette Modestin, she was born in Panama. And NAARC Administrator Don Rojas, who was born in St. Vincent, that's in the Caribbean. All of these people have more access to shaping our reparations policy than we do. They will lock us out of the rooms that these people are meeting in, and they're meeting without us.
Hmm.
See,
Yeah.
this is how far we've allowed our own policies to get out of hand.
That's
And
right.
then the biggest travesty, when we got Sheila Jackson Lee, who's a Jamaican, who's
That's
the main
right.
sponsor. I mean, how does this happen? If we tried to do something like this in a Caribbean or African country, we'd be in jail
Or killed.
or
Oh
killed.
yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. And look, man, you know, we have on our, let me read point 4 of our 12-point program on Be the Power. I just put the link in the chat. We said, we demand a reconstructive freedmen agenda, which consists of a fully funded program to facilitate a state repatriation program for the freedmen. This program will provide the resources necessary for this relocation back to their southern states of origin, where freedmen were forced to escape due to government-sanctioned domestic terrorism and state oppression. These states are Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware. Think, family. Think. Why would you want the federal government to help you move to another country? Take the resources from here so that you can go live somewhere else. Every time one of us moves, number one, or leaves the country, we lose our political power. Hell, every time one of us moves from out of the South to another state, not within those states named, we lose more of our political power. Now you're going to move to Africa. Number two, why would you want to repatriate over there when all of their people are coming over here? Right. Somebody just make this thing make sense to me. It makes no sense. They're coming over here. This plan may have sounded good 30 years ago. It may have sounded good. before we got this knowledge, before we understood our place in American history, before we understood our place in American politics. That plan may have sounded good 30 years ago. This plan is horrible now. And this is a challenge, right? I've challenged, me personally, I have challenged those mouthpieces, some of those mouthpieces that Arthur Ward called out earlier. People like Jam, they go around making immature comments and videos and talking points and using all types of narcissistic moving goalposts arguments. It's crazy at the end of the day. Nobody can make this make sense, Sister Miss Battle. All of their people trying to get over here. You're trying to get the government to fund them. I mean, it's a swap out. Y'all want to do a swap out. That don't make no sense.
Yeah. And you know what? The other thing too, man, it's like, okay, Sheila Jackson Lee is fully in the pocket of and under the guidance, let's put it that way, of Nancy Pelosi, no less than James Clyburn. Okay, what makes you think that she's going to do a truly beneficial program for American freedmen that's any different from any other bills or programs that she sponsored? What would make you think that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It makes no sense.
Nancy Pelosi is the only reason why NAARC and NCOBRA have been able to get as much entree into the United States Congress to the degree that they have. Every one of them, and I would say it again, every one of those legislators only signed on to HR 40 because they don't, most legislators don't read bills themselves. They have a designated person in their office to do that. After that designated person read that bill and assured them that this ain't going nowhere, then that's why they signed on. It's just a rag to wave to let people know that they are concerned about the Black community. That's all it is.
That's right.
And in the meantime, NAARC and NCOBRA, they run around the country with their pseudo-African costume party, convincing people that they're truly for reparations and getting other people to sponsor their organizations with donations, even though they don't fully understand the implications in some cases. And in other cases, these other organizations that support NAARC and COBRA fully understand that this is a nowhere bill. It's really bad, the reparations situation that we're in. And especially with the organizations that have access to the levels of power on Capitol Hill.
And we wanted to come on tonight, family. We wanted to put this on YouTube, right? We didn't even get into the breakdown that Brother Arthur and Sister Roz got into. We wanted to just go in and show how crazy this thing is. Once we start breaking HR 40 down, geez, y'all are really gonna be like, man, and we may do may do that. We're gonna do that. We are definitely gonna come back on and we're gonna fine tooth comb the bill, the HR 40 bill. We are going to fine tooth comb that so the people can see just how ridiculous the bill is. If you think that their NAARC and NCOBRA's 10-point plan for reparations is bad, wait till you see the actual HR 40 bill. And due to some pressure, they've made a couple changes. I think about 3 changes, but I mean, it didn't really change anything. Really. Some things they just enhanced. I heard on one live stream where Sheila Jackson Lee said they were going to increase the budget from, what was it, 8 million to 12 million?
It's 20
million. 20 million?
20 million.
Jeez.
Well, it's, the Congressional Budget Office is the one that actually increased the bill from 12 to 20. It's just not reflected in the bill, but it is definitely reflected in the in the matter of fact, wait a minute, let me pull it up because I got it.
While you doing that, that's the
I got it
Freeman
right here.
descendants of Chicago, Sister Satra Del Reed. That's what the
Oh, okay.
FDOC mean.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, because this. Oh man, these people. They get my blood pressure up sometimes. Really? I be talking to my computer and stuff, you know. It's like, really? Crazy.
Hey, Arthur, what didn't they didn't
Yes,
you
sir.
say? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they do some things to try this switching up the bill to try to cover up or to make it to where the commission can operate in
Oh yeah,
you know, outside of the public view. They don't have to, so you don't know what in the world they're talking about, what they're doing, how they spending
exactly.
their time, who they
Exactly.
get into, what they writing, what proposals that they even thinking about considering. So when they pop it up on you, it's too late. You can't, you just got to take it or leave it.
Yeah, actually, that was that's wait a minute, I got it here too. Hold on. Boy, hold on.
Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button, fam.
Because that sounds like
All
hustling
right.
to me.
Yeah, here it is. But here's the first part. I got the other part for you too. The Congressional Budget Office produced a cost estimate for HR 40, Commission to Study and Develop Reparations Programs for African Americans Act on May 17th, 2021. The estimated spending subject to appropriation for the 2021 fiscal year, check this, came to 20 million, up from the 12 million that's already in the bill. Statutory pay-as-you-go procedures apply to this potential appropriation. And they said that HR 40 would authorize the commission to accept monetary gifts, which are recorded as reductions in direct spending that could be subsequently spent without further appropriation action. CBO estimates this provision would have a negligible effect on direct spending because any gifts would likely be spent soon after being received. Do you know what a gift is? Gifts means money from outside organizations or corporations that these people don't have to account for and they can spend in any way that they want.
Wow. So this is just a big grift for
exactly.
And and that's why their proximity to the Democratic Party is dangerous, because the Democrats are, they're just going to sign on just because they think that they're doing something to help Black people, right? So when you look at the presidential debates and they would ask certain individuals like Booty, I don't never know if I'm saying his name right. I'll be saying Booty Eggs, Buttigieg, whatever.
Buttigieg.
Okay, Buttigieg. Not Booty Eggs. All right, my bad. Not bad. My bad. They, every time they would ask candidates like that, what are your thoughts on reparations for African Americans? They'd be like, oh, I support HR 40 and the study of reparations. You know what I'm saying? They would go right to that. They know that that's the cop-out response.
Right. Now, the federal, what you were mentioning, Josh, earlier is called the Federal Advisory Committee Act. It is actually something that became law in 1972, and it is for this. It's actually the legal foundation that defines how federal advisory committees operate, and they want to be exempt from that. One of the main features of this act is that it has special emphasis on open meetings, chartering, public involvement, and reporting, of which they don't want the HR 40 Commission to be subject to any of these things. They don't want public meetings. They don't want a charter, and a charter enables them automatically to reestablish the commission after 2 years. They want to limit it to 12 months so that they can re-establish commission in perpetuity. That's why they don't want to do these 18 months, because 18 months is a time frame in which you should definitely have a
Mhm.
finished product with no continuation. They don't want that. They want
Especially
12
when
months.
you have a whole book that you wrote as an expert on the subject, right?
Exactly. And they say that they modeled HR 40 after the Japanese Commission, which is a lie. The
Mhm.
Japanese Commission had 9 meetings. Every one of them were open public meetings that they did in 9 different cities.
Mm.
And then they did reporting. They also did chartering. They also had public involvement. They didn't just get up on stage and speak. They enabled people to make verbal inputs, give written opinions or testimonies, and everything was open. They don't want any of that. So they want to give us a surprise when they finish. That's that's
That's
basically what
crazy.
they want to do. Yeah.
That's
So,
crazy.
and all of these things, and the Congress, the Judiciary Committee, they can approve this. This is in the bill that they do not want to be subject to the Federal Advisory Committee Act. That's in the bill.
That's great. So somebody's advising them, because I don't think that they are that politically smart to understand how the machinery works in that regard. So somebody, I believe, right, we assume, has been in their ear who are politicians already that know this process.
Well, NAARC NCOBRA, First Repair, and the NBCI Trust have people in their boards that are professionally lawyers. And Lionel Jean Baptiste, he's not only a lawyer, but he's a circuit court judge here in the Chicago area.
Okay, so somebody's in their ear.
Yeah.
Somebody's in their ear for them to know that.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to, like, there are so many of us, whether we beefing with some hashtag groups and other groups that we disagree with, whatever, there are so many of us that see HR 40 as problematic, even though some people are not speaking about or against HR 40, I should say, just because one individual might be championing changing HR 40 or killing the bill in and of itself, which is petty and petulant, but that's neither here nor there. I just had to throw that in there. But
okay. All right.
Why would you want to block out all of the people that you know are way more knowledgeable about this subject? One, because two, their families are the ones who descend from the people that were harmed in the first place.
Well,
how do you?
Oh, easily, because that's precisely what they want to do, because they know that good questions will arise.
That's right.
Also, I want to address something that I see in the chat here. I say Satra Del Rey, and she asked, "Are we working on an executive order?" No, I would say no. See, and what people don't understand, okay, just like bills have content, executive orders have content too. Okay. And we may scream for an executive order, but suppose the current president produces an executive order that's worse than the bill that we're protesting
That's right.
against.
That's right.
Executive orders have content.
And we can't rely on Sleepy Joe
right.
Because he's just going to go back to the very people that he's going to go right back to Sheila Jackson Lee.
Right. I mean, shoot, he might put an executive order, put our asses back in slavery.
That's right.
No, hell no.
We don't need that right now.
No, we don't need that.
we don't need no EOs from Biden on this right now.
We have
unless we're
yes.
writing it.
Exactly.
And we agree. And this is where representation is so important. And we don't have that.
Not right now.
Not right now. The CBC are useless cumberers of the earth.
Sure. But see, the thing is this is how I feel about it. Okay. We may not have the inside influence at this point, but it's just like something my father said, and he was speaking figuratively, everybody. Figuratively, okay? He said that If they don't answer the door, if they won't respond to a door knock, if they won't respond to a phone call, then set the forest around the house on fire.
That's right.
He said they'll come out then.
That's right.
And that's where I'm at dealing with NAARC and COBRA and HR 40. Okay, they're not going to let us into these meetings. They don't want to answer our phone calls, but we sure as hell can't influence Black political opinion.
That's right.
Okay, and the opinion is going to eventually get back to these lawmakers.
That's right.
All right,
That's
this
right.
is what we can do. You might not be able to do everything that you want to do,
Mhm.
but let's concentrate on what we can do.
And that's why I was battling with those people on Clubhouse, the Jam, the Dr. Goddesses, et cetera, Shireen
Right.
Mitchell, Digital Sister, because I knew what they were trying to do. They were trying to influence everybody that came into the space, particularly the Pan-Africanists. So one of the things I said to the Pan-Africanist dudes, I was like, when the last time y'all voted? They start stumbling over themselves. When was the last time y'all got involved in the political process?
Right.
Again, they start stumbling over themselves because these people that y'all think are knowledgeable spokespersons for NAARC and COBRA and what's being pushed with HR 40, they are in bed with the Democrats.
Right.
They're, whether we like it or not, or agree with them or not, what they're trying to do is political. Most of y'all dudes are not even into politics. Y'all don't even vote. Y'all bringing up quotes from Nkume. I just made that name up. I'm just saying, y'all talking about stuff that has no bearing or relevance over here, but what they're doing is just pulling you on their side because they know that they can make a push by using this ideological broad brush worldwide white supremacy, and we have to defeat it type of argument, right? Where white supremacy is worldwide. It's not just here in America. It affects us all. But that's not how government works.
No.
Which is why, and I told them, I said, this is why if Caracal and all of those Caribbean nations receive reparations, we won't see a dime of that. I'm like, do y'all understand? I had to talk to them like they were little kids. That, I had to talk to them like they were little kids. So, you good? You need to mute out? I think you lost audio.
I'm here.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, so another one of the things is, real quick, that I want to bring up is the fact that, think about this, family. These people, they want to create a trust fund. Imagine we get reparations. Imagine this thing goes through and we get reparations, but NAARC and NCOBRA is still at the head.
Right.
These people will have all of the trillions of dollars in reparations that we would receive come through their hands first.
Yes.
They get to give. Think about it, they're boxing us out of, they want to box us out of public commission meetings. Now these are going to be the same people who are in control of our reparations? No, no, family, that makes no sense.
And they're saying that on one of their pages on their website, that anybody that wants to get any kind of reparations resources, they got to put in an application. That's what they want you to do.
Wow.
They want you to put in an application to get your own reparations from one of their people, and they will make the judgment as to whether you get it or not.
Crazy.
These are the possible consequences if we continue to sit on our hands and not pay attention to these people. They've already spelled out. As a matter of fact, the crazy part about it is that they've spelled out on their websites exactly what they want to do. All right. So basically, it's a family choice. According to Dr. Darity's scheme, the first part of reparations will be the closing of the wealth gap. And that would come in a check. All right. So ask yourself a question. And you got an A and B choice. would you rather for that $850,000 to come to you or to Dr. Ron Daniels? That's what this shit boils down to.
That's right. In no uncertain terms, that's what it boils down to.
Okay. And they said right here in another part of their website that if you want to get any reparations resources, you got to put in an application. And the application process is Nyhiem, you already mentioned about the National Reparations Trust Authority, right? Okay, so they came up with something new because they realized that they got to have local offices in order to disperse reparations funds if they're dispersed. So they came up with the Community Reparations Trust Authorities that they feel that every city should have instead of a Freedmen's Bureau. And they definitely don't want a Freedmen's Bureau.
Oh, we know that.
Okay.
And they see the power. They know that our arguments are not just our arguments, our strategy is soundproof. They know it.
And
they
also,
know it.
And notice something else. You know how many, you've noticed how many, it's not an overwhelmingly large enough, but it's enough to notice how many Black people have said negative things or protested about this Freedmen stuff that Biden and Yellen and Harris are trying to pull. I've noticed that NAARC and NCOBRA and First Repair are the main people that haven't said nothing. They ain't said a damn thing about it, and they're not going to.
Oh man, I ain't even think about that. Where are their voices?
You're not going to hear that.
Jeez.
They do some kind of video almost every week. You will never see a video about that.
Wow.
Why?
Because they know that the energy is moving with this Freedmen movement.
Yeah.
And they can't get around it.
Yes, and also because they're under the control of Nancy Pelosi, Biden, and Kamala Harris.
That's
you
right.
are never going to see them talk about the Freedmen's Bank.
And I'll just put the link to the petition in the chat, y'all. For those of you not familiar with what Brother Arthur Ward is talking about, he's talking about how the Biden administration, through its Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and the Indian American Kamala Harris, have hijacked the name of our Freedmen's Bureau Bank to give monies basically to fund foreigners and minorities. Right now, we are at 2,429 signatures. We're trying to reach that 2,500 mark. Make sure y'all sign this petition, family. This thing moved so fast from the time we put it out there. I've seen, I don't want to say stars, but people that have really large followings on social media share this on their Instagram pages. So this thing moved. It moved fast and it gained traction. It was picked up by moguldom.com. So they see it. They see what's going on. But they know that, like, we got Sheila Jackson Lee. Like, who do they have? They don't have. It was like, I was watching this movie about the Muhammad Ali case, and they were tying in like real pieces of footage into the movie. I can't remember the movie. And I remember when they were going at Muhammad Ali for draft dodging. One of the lawyers was like, the Nation of Islam, what is that? It's like, it's not a thing, because at that time they didn't have no power. They weren't a 501c3. They didn't have nothing to really prove that they were an Islamic organization. So dude was like, he was saying it like, we're going to easily beat them up. And that's kind of how NAARC and NCOBRA looks at us. Like, they don't have no power. They don't have one politician that rocks with them. Who do they have? And I can tell based on the interactions. When They had the one HR 40 hearing. It wasn't it was the more recent one. And we covered that, I believe, on this channel. I remember getting on Clubhouse and Jam and all of them, they were doing virtual high fives. And they mentioned the hashtag group. They was like, was there any hashtag? I don't even like saying their name. Were there any hashtag people up on that HR 40 panel? And they all started keying and laughing and giggling. I'm like, wow. You know, they're showing that because we have the power, we can basically skirt around anything that these people are trying to do, because the Democratic Party caters to black people in a way that's one, paternalistic, and two, manipulative. And so long as you have those two elements, they feel that they're going to control how this information gets out to the general public. And this is why I look at these other news agencies, well, black news media, let me just say, not news agencies, but black media that have a voice. They should have been pushing this petition. They should have been covering the fact that this administration is trying to usurp the freedmen's bill, but everybody has their own agendas, and they're trying to push something antithetical to this because they're not really politically involved. And it's like, it is what it is. Right now, we need all hands on deck. Need all hands on deck. So, I mean, I'm going to stop sharing that. I'm going to put the link again to the petition in the chat. So, you know, Brother Arthur Ward, did you have anything else you wanted to share before we got up out of here?
Yeah, the last thing I want to mention, Satra Del Rey asked a good question. She asked, how do we shut them NAARC and NCOBRA down? Actually, it's by shining the light on them, making light of their websites, making light of their conferences, criticizing them on all social media, and making and helping us to turn around public opinion about them. We can't do it directly, but we can definitely shut them down and wreck their program indirectly.
That's
and
right.
that's why I'm asking everybody to put their eyes on the all the elements of the NAARC and NCOBRA axis.
Indeed, Brother Josh, you had anything you wanted to share?
Nah, bro. Y'all covered it.
Okay, definitely. I did want to address something real quick. Let me see if I can find it.
Yes, sir.
Somebody asked a question. All right, Martin Norwood asked, can parts of Ice Cube's The Contract with Black America be utilized? It's been a while since I looked at it. We at Be the Power did a breakdown of Ice Cube's contract with Black America on the main channel, the Be the Power channel. You can go check that there. I mean, some of it is extremely problematic with how he's trying to constantly include, or whoever wrote it for him, Native American Indians. And, you know, that's another thing when you're grassroots. A lot of times you can't build with people like Ice Cube, right? Because we could have written a contract for the freedmen that would have been 1,000 times better than that contract for Black America, because Black means everybody that has dark brown skin, which really doesn't make any sense, right? It's like brown and black are not on the same color spectrum at all. In fact, black is not even a color. Black, white, and gray are shades. They are technically not colors. We have brown skin. Brown is a color. So on the color spectrum. But anyway, you know, I think what Ice Cube was trying to do is honorable. Don't get me wrong on that. He's trying to get something done for our people, but there are parts of it that are extremely, extremely problematic. Extremely problematic. So I just wanted to, you know, respond to that real quick. Y'all look out for, we're going to be doing more content on this channel. I don't know what's wrong with the other channel, but we should be doing the book club book. I don't know, man. Maybe I want to do it next week, I just want to give people time to read that book, Back of the Hiring Line by Roy Beck. You know, you have some people that are right wing that at times they make sense. And this book makes all the sense in the world. And what it does do is it shut. We got Brother Logic pulling a Josh right now. What it does do is it breaks down all of the immigration stuff since Reconstruction and how deleterious it has been to our climb for upward mobility in this country. Brother Logic, what's going on, bro? You want to ask something real quick?
Yep. Peace. I just wanted to say, good information y'all bring down, Brother Arthur Ward. Appreciate you coming in. You know, you've been on the case for a hot minute, man. You the Columbo on this reparations gumbo they trying to present to people, man.
Right.
So we appreciate you for that. I just wanted to say, in response to the question on what can you do to stop NAARC and NCOBRA, is you got to take away their agency. You understand? And so now when we talk about be the power, you understand, we always have rooted that in backyard politics. And so their agency is through in the political system, and that's how they get representation. And you have to also look at like what the CBC looks like now. They're using the CBC to get some of their legwork done in Congress, but we can take care of that problem democratically, right? Take away. That's why we have a congressional focus all the time and always. You vote the people out who want to support that bill, right? You put political pressure, and not just them. You make it. You see, this is how we have to start being politically strategic, right? You make a problem for everybody that they cool with, right? The state senators. Oh well, I got a problem with you now too. Then you need to start talking about it. I got a problem with the governor about it. Somebody better start talking about it. See, you raise hell, not just them up in Washington. You can get on them too, and you need to get on them, right? But you need to get on everybody who supports them. It's a whole system that goes all the way back to your backyard. I get on my mayor. Mayor, if you're not talking about it, we on your ass too then. State rep, if you don't talk about it, we're on you. State senator, if you don't talk about it, we are on you. All of the Democratic Party leaders, from the county chair to the state party leader, right? We showing up at the meetings. What are y'all allowing them to do up there? We're sending a message from the great state of wherever you may come from. We want this up out of here, and you have to make that impact felt. And I guarantee you start impacting local and state elections based upon your displeasure with this bill. They're going to feel that at the top. I guarantee you, they need that support all the way down. They don't want to lose that, you know. And so everything that we want, we can impact. See, a lot of times people think if we have to go all the way to Washington to make an impact. Then no, Washington needs the states, right? Without the states, there is no Washington. So you make that shit felt at home, and it'll have a reverberating effect all the way up there. I guarantee you, right? So
That's right.
I just always want to say that. Never forget the power of state politics. If you want to impact the government, the state power has been given the federal government hell since the formation of the republic. Don't forget about your state agency and your state power. You understand? And that's what I came up here to say, right? Because oftentimes, being that you know, the White House is so far away from where many of us live, we seem like, you know, there's just nothing we can do about it. Well, you don't have to. This is a democratic republic, and this is a federalist government. You just go right down to your state house and raise hell about it. They'll get the message, I guarantee you. And that's all I wanted to say about that, man. I know you was wrapping it up, and, you know, I had to josh my way in real quick and, you know, say peace to the family and do what I had to do, man. Peace, Freedman. I'm out.
Peace, Freedman. All right, definitely, man. Yeah, hey, you know, Brother Logic as usual coming in with them super bars. You already know. And he's right, man. We got to put pressure on our local officials. He is absolutely right. That's how you run it up the chain. These people are elected to represent us. And if we can put pressure on our local officials to put pressure on those representatives, we may see some results sooner than later. So, man, I want you to have the last word, Arthur Ward, before I close out, man. Do you have anything you want to share with the next time y'all doing the space, etc.? You on mute.
Okay. All right. No, I was going to say that in addition to everything Logic said, it's also in addition very important to put the spotlight on both NAARC and NCOBRA. Get on their website, question them, make light of what they're doing on Twitter and Facebook. We gotta publicize the injuries that they are trying to inflict on us through legislation. I believe, wait a minute, Roz is on here. I believe that the next we're doing is going to be next Wednesday. Is that correct? In the morning? Did you put that in the chat, Roz?
Yeah, I know she usually goes in at Wednesday mornings.
Wednesday morning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the next
your blog, you know.
Freeman Absolute.
Yes. Yeah, freemanabsolute.com.
freemanabsolute.com, family.
Right.
Check out our brother's blog. I know Sister Cynthia writes. Does she write under that same?
No, she does occasionally contribute.
Okay.
But she has Freedman Health and Wellness.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
Yes.
And
Ross said probably.
they're both wine connoisseurs. So
yes, we are.
And when they're writing, they're promoting whatever it is that they're sipping on while they are typing.
We don't really promote it. We just let you know part of the influence of the.
Okay, definitely. Like this is what's motivating me right now.
Hey, when I'm reading, I'm like, dang, that sounds like kind of interesting. I might want to get me a glass of that.
Like we are writing this, sipping on this fine Pinot Grigio, this Merlot.
Yeah, well, we keep plenty of wine around here, so might as well use it.
No doubt, no doubt. So, family, thank you all for tuning in. You know, this was a good, powerful, impactful stream that we did tonight. Roz also said that the HR 40 breakdown is pinned on her Twitter with the one she did with Arthur Ward. That joint was fire. They really, really went in. Y'all make sure y'all check out her Twitter. Go follow the sister as well and follow Arthur Ward as well. Her Twitter handle is right here on screen. So look, you know, we will be back next week. I'm going to see what's going on with our regular channel. I don't know what's going on. I'm hearing a static in my headphones. So I don't know if it's just rusty. We had to shake the rust off because we ain't been on for a. I don't know what's going on. But I'll leave y'all with the motto of the platform. That is, just fight power.